Do I have a story to tell you today? Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Tim. If you haven't seen episodes 1 and 2, make sure you go ahead and check those out before you continue here. But as a quick recap, this whole series is pretty much where I am taking all of your feedback and then integrating into one epic B-roll series, which is actually only a week away now from release. And I'm so flippin' excited about this. It's insane. I feel like it has been the longest running project that I've ever worked on. So I'm super excited to share that with you along with the tutorial that's coming right after, which means you're gonna see tons of content coming this week back to back, showing you the rest of the gods from here on out. So today, let's go ahead and talk about Hades. So when you think of Hades, what do you think of? Well, he's the god of the underworld. So I'm thinking of a cave. I'm thinking dark tones. I'm thinking a mysterious feel to it. And then I asked you guys on Instagram, by the way, if you're not following me on Instagram, here are details right here. Make sure you're following me for up-to-date news, polls, etc. And you voted for Hades' black cape. Now the problem with that, actually, let me just show you. Okay, so this is Hades' cape, the ones you guys voted for, which is fine. I actually wanted a black cape too, so it was between black and red, of course. And the problem with having a black cape, not even the black cape, actually it wasn't the problem with the color at all. The problem was with the width of the cape. This cape, when like it's draping down, it's literally half the size of my back. So by the time I was filming and on location and of course having someone film for me, it just didn't work out. Because it was so ridiculously thin that it just looked kind of silly. Take what you will from the whole outfit to begin with. But I'm trying to minimize, I'm trying to make it serious here, okay? Trying to make it epic and serious and Super Saiyan style. And Super Saiyans don't have capes that are half the size of their backs. So that didn't work, but luckily the armor that I ordered came with the cape too, so I just stuck with the red one. But then in terms of finding the location, I actually scouted this place called Thousand Steps Beach in Laguna Beach. It was an actual mission to find this beach because I swear I walked for like half an hour throughout all the neighborhoods. And the problem is that there's no set parking lot for this beach. You know, usually you just drive up, park at the beach, and then walk straight into the sand. Well, no, for this one, it's a very, very small, obscure entrance because I found out later that it's not a public beach, which is the reason why. And the public access is like way further away from the caves that I was trying to find. Now, the reason why it's called Thousand Steps Beach is because it felt like 1,000 steps. Sure, there was like 150, correct me if I'm wrong, but it felt like 1,000, so I can see why it's named just that. Walk down, and then you also have to make sure that the tide is right, because if the tide is too high, then you can't get access to the cave. So when you walk down to the beach, there's actually a right and left endpoint. The left side actually are the caves that I was looking for, but then I went to the right first because there's actually this crazy place where you can just crawl through. But I took most of the pictures and videos of Hades here because it just looked really nice. Lesson learned, the part I do regret filming, is that I only took macro shots really of Hades, and I haven't fully looked at the footage yet to see open wide shot and establishing shot to show location, because I think most of my shots were really, really tight. But I did get some solid pictures from here, like that. And then I shifted over to the other side of the beach. It's already sunset from now. That's the thing with these run and gun shoots. They always stress me out because sunset is just such a limited time, and when it's dropping, sun's gonna flip and drop. So when you're at a brand new location, you don't have much time to explore and really dive into what you're looking at and compose your shot really some. Rushing, but not rushing. Anyways, here I am on the other side of the caves. And luckily, it was a weekday and it wasn't busy at all. And I got some really nice shots of just entering the cave. And then I put my camera to the side of the beach, got some shots of that. Used my GoPro to get like the point of view shots as I'm walking through. And then I'm hoping as I edit to just kind of subtly introduce like a mysterious vibe to it. The song that I'm using isn't gonna give that mysterious, eerie vibe, but at least for the 5 to 7 seconds where I'm introducing Hades, I'm hoping from the color grade that I can at least use those dark tones to insinuate like this mood that you're gonna get from seeing the god of the underworld. Now here are of course some preview clips to see what I did with Hades before the edit. Of course this is ungraded, no edits done at all, just raw clips straight from the camera. Okay, so that was Hades. Now, I've already gone to the beach twice by now. And like I said, it's been a mission to get to 1,000 steps. I already went once to scout the beach, and it's like a 2 to 3 hour drive already. And then I went a second time to, of course, film Hades. I went a third time to try to film Poseidon, but I got no footage at all because for whatever reason, it just ended up being super cloudy and I just didn't make it on time, and the trip itself was a mess. So I got no footage from that because out of nowhere decides to rain. So I already went to this location 3 to 4 times, and actually over the span of 7 weeks. 7 weeks, I'm serious. 7 weeks I tried to coordinate something where I just wanted to get a shot of me at the beach, and I was like, you know what, forget it. I'm not gonna go back to 1,000 steps because it's too much of a hassle. Okay, I can't get someone to help me to do this on time. Every time I try to go, something just doesn't work out. Okay, either it's raining, or the weather isn't right, or it's just too busy, and forget it. So there I was, back at 1,000 Steps Beach to film Poseidon. This time I dragged along my friend Reams to help me second shoot while I go be a douche at the beach. But the whole point of what I was visualizing for Poseidon was crazy, okay? Like, this is actually one of the scenes that I visualized ever since I found 1,000 Steps Beach to begin with. And the reason for that is because every cinematic sequence, every video that I try to do this B-roll for, the first 3 to 5 seconds, I do the same way as I write, which is to grab your audience's attention. And to do that, you really want a strong, like your best clips you want right away. So the first 3 to 5 seconds, I visualized in my head from the very beginning, just wanted some giant, crazy waves to just shoot up. Of course, but I would never imagine finding a spot that would give me a sequence like this. So, as a quick premise, it is cold here in California. Yes, I know our version of cold isn't real cold, but however, 50, 60 degrees, and it was cold, okay? It was cold for us here in SoCal. The water was also freezing, okay? So there we were at 1,000 Steps Beach, and there are a set of rocks right in front of us, and you see waves coming in. They're about 3 to 5 feet waves, and when they crash into the rocks, there's this huge spray of water. So when you see it from far away, it doesn't look too bad. It looks like, oh, okay, that looks pretty cool. It looks pretty decent. You know, I think it's enough to at least maybe be half my height. If it's one thing that I've never learned from any of the videos that I've recorded for board games, every single time that I am at the beach, I always underestimate the conditions and how variable waves are. I lost so many board game pieces, like no joke. So I was like, you know what, I don't want to hold any board game pieces this time. Let me just go out there and do a shot of just me holding the trident that everyone voted for as the weapon of choice. So there I was at the set of rocks in the front, and I turn around and I see Reams there, and she's just like, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna tell you when the waves come, and then hit record, okay? Mind you, not everyone is versed with the camera, and that's okay, because it's my fault that I didn't tell her how to record. I just assumed that she knew how to record. And this isn't exactly a user-friendly camera. It's a professional grade camera. Like, if it was me walking into it, I wouldn't know what to record either. But me being too excited about the shot, I'm just like, okay, whatever, just press the button, record, and you'll be fine, right? She's like, okay. So I walk up to the front of the rocks, and I see this big wave coming. It looked big from far away, and I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be sick. This is gonna be freaking crazy. It's gonna like shoot straight up, and it's gonna be so cool. I stick the trident right on top of elevated ground, hold my position, and I'm not trying to be stable or anything. Like, I'm pretty overconfident when it comes to these things, and I underestimate my ability to do stuff. I also underestimate, clearly, weather conditions or the elements in general. I always underestimate them. So I turn around, give a thumbs up to Reams, and then back she's just like, and I'm like, okay, cool, this is gonna be sick. And there I see the giant wave about 2 seconds away. Hold my position, and it just comes crashing down into the rocks and me. And I'm there just like holding my position with water, just like soaking, drenched, and it's salt water, so it's burning my eyes. And I'm like, oh frick, I'm gonna die for this board game shot. But either way, after I was like drenched, which I was not prepared for or not ready for, by the way. I was just wearing a tank top just in case, but I wasn't mentally prepared to actually get wet. I turn around, and then she's just like, oh my god, that was so cool. Mind you, there were also a group of people sitting on a blanket just watching us, and they were just dying and cracking up. And they're just like giving a thumbs up, and they're laughing. I was like, and I run off the rocks and run back to her, and I was like, oh my god, how was it? She's like, it was so good. Oh my god, that was perfect. And then we go back to review the footage. Can you guess what happened next? Her hand actually was on the trigger button for photos, not video. So of course you're both like, and also, oh my god, we're gonna do it again. Which is fine, I don't mind. I'm obviously used to redoing shots over and over again. So, taught her how to use the record button, and then I head back to the rocks. and I see the group of people on the blanket just getting their phones ready to like Snapchat me, Instagram me, whatever. Honestly, I was being dumb, and I'm pretty sure it was pretty funny to them, so whatever. I don't mind that I made their day today. So I go back one more time to do the same shot. Well, now of course when we are completely prepared, there are no waves. So we sit there for like 2 to 3 minutes, and then finally I see a decent sized wave, you know, coming in the distance. I turn around again, and I'm like, "Are you ready?" And she's like, yeah, I got it, don't worry, I'm ready. It's like, "Record button, okay?" She's like, yeah, I got it. So then I planted myself fully this time, held it, left foot, right foot, trident, and was just trying to be as stable as I can possibly be at that moment in time. Wind picks up, blows the wave forward, and this wave ended up being something that I was not ready for. There's no way I could have been ready for this wave. And it was like way bigger. So here it comes, and I see it. And honestly, I think that's one of the very, very, very rare times I was genuinely afraid for my life, because I thought I was gonna get hit back. Junior. I switched the position of my feet, that way my left foot, if anything, was gonna give me more support from the back. And then it just comes in and just full on envelops my entire body. And I'm just like, hold it for the video. Do it for the B-roll. You know, at the end of the day, we got the shot. Came back, and then there were even some people like that were walking by that wanted to see the footage on the camera. They were like, "Oh my god, that was so cool. Can we see it?" So we showed them, and honestly, like, I want to show you now, but I'm not. I might give a little snippet of it on my Instagram, but I want to wait to give you the full effect of this video. I'm aiming for next Saturday to show you this entire video. But here are a couple of clips, of course, from Poseidon's shoot and some photos. It was a fun time. So if you're watching, as always, thank you, Reams. But yeah, that was the story behind Hades and Poseidon. Next up, we are going to a bookstore in LA called The Last Bookstore. So if you're still here, thank you so much for tuning in. I can't wait to show you episode 4 coming up soon. Make sure you are subscribed if you aren't already, and I will see you all at The Last Bookstore.